It's game 4 of 4 to wrap up Session A of the Global Basketball Summer League here from the Doolittle Community Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. The final game is going to be the 5th place game between the two 1-1 teams. Pointstreak, wearing the blue jerseys, coached by Lewis Lofton of Global Basketball Player Development. And on the other side, it's going to be Nevada Desert Storm 1-1. A lot of local players from the Las Vegas, Nevada area. Right now, it's going to be coached by Ricky Cleveland, but their coach, a local guy named Todd, we do not have a last name. He's checking in momentarily. Didn't know the time of the game, but nonetheless, Nevada Desert Storm, led by former MVP Jamal Smith, now plays of San Jose in Brazil. So he's donating number 1, and you see him right outside the circle there. My name is Sam Cooperman. The man to my right is Nick Rice, and Nick, we're set for tip-off right here. The final game of Session A. What are you excited for in this one?
Well, it's hard to believe that the entire Session A is already basically complete with one more game to go. But we're very excited for this contest. We have seen quite a few times that even if we're not looking at two undefeated teams, we still are in tap for a very good basketball game. These are two clubs that, if there's a ball that bounces one way here, or maybe a basket that is ruled not a basket another way, we're looking at a game of inches where, had it not been for a couple bounces, maybe we could look at these two teams as in position to be champions.
So Doug Anderson, the high flyer, formerly of Detroit Mercy, wins the tip for Pointstreak, and Raymond Jarrett III getting things started on the drive.
Well, Pointstreak had a disappointing loss against Scouting for You, where their offense simply was not here. So the game plan today is to get their shooting going early.
Leon Sutton drains the corner 3, so Nevada Desert Storm gets on the board off the nice perimeter passing.
Well, as I know from what you said earlier, the Pointstreak, they've got a dunk champion on their own team by the name of Doug Anderson.
Raymond Jarrett III, second bucket from RJ. Crafty finish underneath. Recently played in Dubai for Seed Club, did Jarrett, 26 years old, 6'6", sharpshooter, showing his ability to drive and get to the bucket there. Jamal Smith pops from mid-range, count it. He gets going.
Well, 26 years old is not a foreign term for these folks here at the Global Basketball Summer League. We have looked all over the globe to find some players, and there's even a man 31 years old that's competing in this, proving that it's never too late to put yourself in position to get on a pro roster.
Doug Anderson misfires on the straightaway 3. Coming up at the board is Sutton as he pushes up floor. Easy bucket down low for Lamar Foley of Great Falls University off the dish from Sutton.
That was a beautiful feed inside, and we have seen quite a few times here in the Global Basketball Summer League tournament where if you're able to push the paint early in transition, a lot of the buckets are made in that area.
So missing the long-range shot is Keon Sankey for Pointstreak. 2 minutes into this one, 7-4 in favor of the team in white, Nevada Desert Storm. Long shot rims out for Perry, free agent in the area. Jarrett pushes behind the back. Shot, yes sir, Raymond Jarrett. He's got 6.
He's got all the team's points right now.
Yes, he does, as Perry tries the crafty acrobatic finish, cannot get it. Jarrett will collect the rebound. Jarrett up court. He stops his dribble, gives to Bethel in the wing. Air ball for him. Rebound goes to Devin Martin. Devin Martin gets hacked on the way up, so he'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
Well, Devin Martin was an all-star. He won 2 straight second-team All-MEAC awards during his time at Maryland Eastern Shore. Devin Martin averaged 17 points a game during his last couple years at Maryland Eastern Shore. He is a stud, and we have seen numerous times him take over a basketball game single-handedly. So there's no surprise that early on he finds his way to the charity stripe to help tie the ball game at 7.
In the first game of the tournament, a loss for Pointstreak to Scouting for You. Martin put up an impressive stat line of 16 points and 14 boards, and the second one will rattle home for him too, so he connects on both at the charity stripe.
Well, it's slightly easy to overlook him because he's not the biggest man on the floor, didn't go to a powerhouse university. Maryland Eastern Shore, a subpar, middle-of-the-road Division I university, but he was a big reason why they were in contention year after year of winning the MEAC tournament. He was He's a scorer that can also defend.
Leon Sutton got fouled on the entry pass from Smith, and now he tries to kick it back out to Smith, and we got a steal. Martin pushing up floor, inside pass in transition. Eric Bethel Jr. Nice spacing and finishes with the scoop.
We're just talking about Devin Martin and his defense. He would not quit to the basketball and gets credited with the steal.
So a 6-0 run for Pointstreak. They're up 10-7. Outlet pass from Jarrett gets picked off. Going up opposite way is Foley. Foley, wild attempt there, loses the ball, gets it back. Smith inside. Yes, sir. Jamal Smith contorting the body to finish, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play.
This team is unafraid to attack the basket. Nevada Desert Storm, a couple of close contests. They did notch a win, albeit a very contested game, which came down to the final seconds against Windsor Express.
So Jamal Smith, we talked about him, MVP of the tournament last year, local product right now playing for San Jose in Brazil, where he averages 13 points a game there. In this tournament, he's putting up 22 a game, his team 1-1. Very passionate player, only 5'10". Jarrett on the low block, no good. Altering his shot was Jason Wallace, and he collects a rebound in the process. Quick up the other way, Foley, long range, no good, misses the triple. Jarrett will take it himself. Jarrett to Martin. And Martin still pushing with it. Long range shot, misses off front rim. Anderson fighting for the rebound, and he gets fouled as he pushed his way trying to grab that ball.
Well, as we've seen with both teams during the 2 days of this tournament, these clubs are unafraid to attack the basket, and scoring has been not a problem for either team. And we see early on these clubs attacking, and that's why points have been very easy to come by for both teams.
So 10-10 ball game, just over 4 minutes into this one, and driving to the hole is Bethel, and he gets hacked in the process. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Well, Eric Bethel is easily the smallest player on the floor, but he is not afraid to drive into the lane and take contact. That's the sort of attitude and toughness that any coach at any level would love to have for their point guard and their man that leads the offense.
5'10", 160 Bethel's listed at as he swishes home the first. Played at Coker College.
He may even be smaller than that.
Yeah, you know, sometimes the guys can fudge their heights a little bit, you know, in order to make themselves look more marketable as a player. And he hits both. Bethel actually got hurt in game 1 for this Pointstreak team. They were up by 20 in that game, suffered 2 injuries. There's a 3 on the other end. That's DeMario Butler getting on the scoreboard. But 2 injuries, they lost that 20-point lead, did Lewis Lofton's club. Joel Clark, the other man that got injured a few minutes into the game, he had to fly home with an ankle injury. Anderson, Euro step, hopping in the lane, misses the shot. So going up the other way is Nevada Desert Storm, and a foul on the outside. Actually, looks like Jamal Smith took too many steps. And a timeout for the Desert Storm right here. So, quick start to the game. 4.5 minutes into this one. 12-12 is the score between Pointstreak in blue and the Desert Storm in white.
It's been a great game. On paper, it was exactly what we expected. 2 teams that are flying up the floor, unafraid to attack the basket, and points have come at a premium for both teams. It's been a great overall play game. Not too many turnovers, very few fouls as well. So that's the sort of game that really we were hoping for going in.
Leading scorer right now, Raymond Jarrett III, number 4 in blue for Pointstreak. He scored the first 6 points for his team, and he's shown his ability to get to the rack, put up 24 points a game in Dubai this past year, and he's looking to play internationally again. I know I talked to him, and he really likes the international lifestyle. He said he considered getting a dual citizenship. I'm sorry I misspoke, but you know, some players playing overseas is a very appealing prospect, and it seems like Raymond Jarrett III is someone that enjoys, you know, learning other cultures, playing in a different market.
Well, that's easier said than done, to go overseas and to compete internationally. You're in a brand new environment, and some guys just do not mesh well away from America, away from their home country.
Anderson spinning inside, and he gets bumped, so 2 shots coming his way. Doug Anderson, we talked about him a few minutes ago. Kalamazoo, Michigan is where he's born, played at Detroit Mercy. He's been out of the game for a few years, but he is an NCAA dunk champion. Watch his videos on YouTube. That's always makes for some exciting highlight reels as he'll hit the first of two. Recently checked into the game, Emil Clark played with the PBL Buffaloes in the Philippines. Second one rims out for Anderson. Rebound collected by Foley. So it's going to be Sutton pushing inside. Entry pass. Ball swinging around the perimeter. Taking a few dribbles in is Wallace. He'll pass cross court. Ball still swinging. Sutton now has room. Kicks back out. Foley book it from the right side. Hitting that right wing three. He's got 5.
Now, we saw during the pregame some of the dunks that Doug Anderson was doing. This man, we're just waiting to see him put on a tomahawk and really get this crowd into a frenzy.
He wanted to put one down at the end of the last game when Pointstreak got the win over Swiss Select, but the clock ran out just before he was about to do it after an air ball by the recently checked in Oliver Lorenzo. Lorenzo makes up for it with the steal, and he's going to push up court. He's 1-on-3 right now. He'll take it himself, floats it up, and Anderson, oh baby, the two-handed flush. Those are those leaping skills we just talked about.
Yeah, he's a big man, but he can hop, kind of like LeBron James can, where it doesn't look like he's going as high as it appears, but this man has vertical ability like nobody else.
Wallace trying to clean up the rainbow miss, no good. Ball squirting around inside, comes into the hands of Lorenzo Oliver, now to Clayton. Clayton kicks out to the left. Shot coming from Lenho Kilo, misses the shot. Lenjo played at Savannah State this past year of the MEAC Conference. Mid-range shot falls for Jamal Smith of the Desert Storm. So he's got 7. The score now 16-15 in favor of the Desert Storm. So back and forth game, 6 minutes into this in the first quarter. Again, 10-minute quarters we play here in the GBSL as a foul on the interior.
Yeah, it's been a great play game, just like we expected. Lead changes back and forth, and I'm sure the crowd will remember the tomahawk dunk from Doug Anderson. That's just the start of what could be a very interesting game for him.
Dunks are always fun indeed, as Keon Sankey will be at the line to shoot 2. Plays for the Pontiac 66ers of the recently started Midwest Professional Basketball Conference. First one does rattle. First one falls out for him. And tie ball game now as Sankey connects. So it's going to be Sutton pushing past half court. He's D'd up by the other number 3, Emil Clayton. Sutton recently played for the Idaho Stampede of the D-League. Stepping into a shot is Wallace, rims out. Clayton running the point. Again, the threes matched up at the top. Gives to Oliver. Oliver on the wing, goes opposite side. Kilo trying to drive, he gets that one poked away. Going up the other way in transition, Jamal Smith has it. Look at that finish. Jamal Smith protecting the ball and goes up with the scoop. Pressure defense applied, and it results in a steal. Smith again inside, and he's in double digits. Jamal Smith with 10 points.
Yeah, part of the problem with attacking so much on the offensive end, you see some of these players really throwing up some really miserable passes. Some of the decisions by these guys throwing the basketball is far less than ideal. We're looking at cross-court passes. We're looking at throws into double or triple teams. That's the sort of thing that coaches never want to see. And we've seen quite a bit of that just in this first quarter.
So Lewis Lofton calls a timeout for his Pointstreak team. First of 2 he has to use in this first half, as that was Keon Sankey getting the ball poked away from him. So 2:45 left in this first quarter. 20-16 the score now moves to, with the Nevada Desert Storm up by 4.
Yeah, see, that's part of the problem that I think a lot of these teams have had. Not just Nevada Desert Storm, not just Pointstreak, but we've seen it throughout this tournament. And part of the problem is these players only had a couple days to prepare for this basketball game. But now we're reaching day number 3, and some of this continues. The turnovers, I think, can really shy some of these coaches away from bringing on these players. So they've got to figure out a way to stop the turnovers here.
And to give you a recap of what we've seen from most of Session A, the champion has already been crowned. D Las Vegas, coached by Ricky Cleveland, getting the win. Sterling Smith led the way there. 25 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 of 6 from downtown. Sterling Smith played at Pitt this past year, formerly of Coppin State, and he really balled today, helping his team get the win. So on the inbounds, in motion, no good is Oliver. Board tracked down by Wallace. Beautiful outlet. Outlet goes to Foley, and he has to push back out. Over on the side, Sutton. Lefty three is off.
Well, they didn't end with a three-pointer, but Foley did a tremendous job of resetting the offense.
Clayton will peel back out. Now he's got a mismatch on the much larger Wallace. Now outside, Doug Anderson. Man's got some range, too. Count it for him.
Yeah, that's got to be a very attractive part of this man. He can not only dunk, he can score from anywhere.
Needs to be a well-rounded player if you want to make it at the next level, and Doug Anderson knows it. Here he is with numbers, taking it into the hole. He does get fouled as the ball was emphatically knocked away by Harvey Perry, trying to prevent being put on a poster. Got my P's a little twisted up there, Nick.
Yeah, well, also a chance to prevent the three-point play. And speaking with Shantae, which is one of our lady members of the media, she was so bothered by folks in college and in the NBA who foul but still allow the shooter to score. Either you're going to stop the basket or you're going to let him score.
It's called making him earn it. You know, you don't want to give a soft foul. You want to foul him hard, wrap him up. You don't want to hurt the guy, but you want to do it properly.
Nobody
so Anderson goes 1 of 2, splitting a pair there. Recently checked into the game, DeMario Butler stops a few feet inside the foul line and cannot hit the fadeaway. Rebound goes as Wallace has it down low, and they're going to call foul. I'm not sure if it's on the floor. No, Wallace will go to the line for 2. Jason Wallace, a big presence on the interior, 6'9", 250, a big body for this Desert Storm team. Nevada Desert Storm is always brought to this tournament as, you know, a way for the local basketball community to have their team. Also, these guys get a chance to showcase their abilities. A whole team of guys in the Las Vegas, Nevada area. First foul shot bricked by Wallace. As sub comes in, Devin Martin back in the game. He had 2 points in the first. Well, earlier in the first. We are still in the first with 1:45 left. 20-20 is the score of this one.
And Nevada
Wallace with one more.
Nevada Desert Storm is coming off a game where they picked up 101 points. And the offense, you can see, has transpired into today.
Jarrett, the beautiful outlet pass, leads to an easy layup for Lorenzo Oliver. So Oliver gets on the board for the first time, and Pointstreak has the lead 22-20. Kicking out, and now ball working around. Down on the baseline is Wallace. Wallace goes up, errant attempt, gets his own rebound. He'll go up for the second effort, and that one isn't even close. This time, controlling it is Kilo for Pointstreak.
Heard a lot of slaps and a lot of extra contact. No foul, though, for Wallace.
Pull-up pop is good. Devin Martin connects. So 1 minute left in this first quarter, 24-20 in favor of the team in blue. That is Pointstreak.
8-0 run for Pointstreak as well. They were down going into the timeout.
So whatever Lewis Lofton said to his team certainly worked there. As cutting inside and banking it home is DeMario Butler. He's got 5 points.
Yeah,
6 points, should I say. 5 points.
Butler ranks third best in the entire tournament with 23 points a game. Not bad.
So Raymond Jarrett gives it to an open Oliver. Oliver bumping his way to the hole, and did he take the charge? Yes, he did. Harvey Perry was able to absorb the contact, take the charge. Lewis Lofton disagrees with that call, but don't think the refs are buying it.
Yeah,
I think the refs. I think Lewis said that there was a foul before that contact even happened. Seemed to be making the motion that maybe you could have heard the contact, but again, with these refs, it's a training opportunity for them. You have FIBA refs, also D-League referees, as a misfire on the 3 there from Perry.
Sam, I'm sorry, that was a foul. That's a foul no matter what time of the game it is.
So shot clock and game clock even here, and there's a touch foul on the perimeter as DeMario Butler bumped into Martin. A lot of yelling from the side over here, so again, with these coaches and these refs and the players, it's a tough kind of juncture here because you have guys that haven't played together much, different styles of game, not knowing very much about each other, coaches seeing these players for the first time, and refs working together for the first time, all making an interesting assortment here. So under 10 seconds left. It's going to be Oliver taking it on the outside. Scoop pass to Clayton. He throws up a leaner. No good. Martin tries to throw up a fadeaway. And that one bounces out, and that's how the first quarter is going to end. 24-22. Pointstreak has your lead a quarter of the way into this one.
Now, well, the storyline of this first quarter will be how it ended. The officiating for this tournament has been solid. I mean, given the situation they've been thrust into, not really knowing some of these players, really all these players, and this is a high-packed pressure situation. Definitely makes it tough. However, we can't help but indicate that drive near the end of the first quarter should have been a foul instead of an offensive charge. We heard 3 or 4 slaps of the arm and of the elbow here, and Sam, I have to agree with our folks right next to us, the coaching staff for Desert Storm.
Well, it was funny, in the championship game 2 games ago, Tim Fanning of Oceania, the losing coach, he was getting real tired of these refs, and he maintained his composure pretty well, but there was finally one call that he got, and he was kind of joking around about it in a way. He was saying, finally, thank God. And, he was joking around about it with me after the game, but, it's a tough, assignment for these refs because they're working together, like I said, for the very first time, working a different style of game. Again, a lot of these FIBA guys from overseas. Basketball overseas, it's really, in a way, a different sport. There's so many differences. And the kinks of the game, you definitely got to work out if you're a referee, but they're doing their best out here. And George Tolliver, the D-League head of officiating, overseeing all of this, training these referees properly. So both teams will retake the floor again, 24-22. Pointstreak has your lead, quarter into this one. Pointstreak, the team in blue. In white, it's Nevada Desert Storm. Desert Storm lost their first game of the tournament to the Southern Stars. They won the second versus Windsor Express. Pointstreak also lost their first to Scouting for You. Won the second one versus Swiss Connection. So outside it goes. 3-ball from Sutton. No good. Ball bouncing around between a few guys. Clayton will corral it. As he runs point. Tries the entry pass. Almost gets stolen, but Pointstreak still has it. Straightaway 3. Martin off front rim. No good. And tracked down by Oliver. So fresh 24. Quick 3 is good. Raymond Jarrett. He's got 9 points.
Yeah, Devin Martin from Maryland Eastern Shore. He's wide open on nearly every possession.
So Devin Matthews bricks the 2 from Central Washington as he checking into the game for the first time. And it goes off the foot of the defender, DeMario Butler. So Martin tried to dish it inside. Goes off Butler's foot. Results in a side out. So 27-22. Pointstreak has the lead. Again, you mentioned it. They were down by 4 late in this first quarter. Lewis Lofton calls a timeout. Since then, his team has really been cooking on an 11-2 run. So bruising his way inside is Martin. He gets fouled on his way to the hole.
Yeah, this is a completely different basketball team. And I would say the number one difference has just been defensively. They're starting to really frustrate their opponent offense. They're creating turnovers and they're flying to the basketball, creating one-and-done opportunities, not allowing second-chance efforts for their opponent.
So on the front end of the 2 shots, Devin Martin is good. He's now got 5. Martin, 6'5", 207 at Maryland Eastern Shore. Played 2 years there, and this past year, 17.2 points a game. Second one goes for Martin as well. He's now got 6. So going up the other way is Smith. Jamal Smith, last year's tournament MVP. And that's going to be a moving screen on Devin Matthews. Kind of hit an arm bar there, and the referee was right on top of that.
Yeah, it's a very fast game. We saw our near official. You have to, in a blink of an eye, indicate whether that was an arm bar versus if it was a clean screen. That's the sort of bang bang calls these officials have had to make for this entire tournament.
Corner pop from Martin, no good on the triple. And Jarrett skies for the rebound. Cross-court pass, snatched up by Clayton. So on this fresh shot clock, Clayton's going to work up mano a mano. Backing his way in, pushing out, no good off front rim. Board corral by Matthews. It's Jamal Smith with it up the floor to Sutton. Sutton feeds to the low block. Spinning his way inside is a recently checked in Juan Patillo, and it ends up with Demario Butler scoring on the inside pass.
Yeah, that's where you just read the zone defense and you figure out the holes and you get to it. I mean, that was a beautiful find, and it's good for 2 points.
Raymond Jarrett stops his dribble outside, now gives to Martin. Martin bulldozing his way in, an offensive foul on him. So Devin Martin picks that one up as he tried to dip the shoulder, and the refs call it on him.
Yeah, it delivers an arm bar right back. Now, Devin Martin is a volume shooter. If you give him enough opportunities, he's missed a couple three-pointers here in this second quarter. You give him enough chances, he'll eventually go on a 2 or 3 score run where he begins to get hot.
So Lorenzo Oliver checking out of the game, as is Raymond Jarrett. Into the game comes Doug Anderson, as well as Eric Bethel Jr. for Pointstreak. So in the front court is Martin twirling his way inside, Devin Matthews, should I say, and he gets it to go on the push shot. So Nevada Desert Storm's caught a little heat here as Matthews gets on the board for the first time. Now foul on the perimeter as Jamal Smith disagrees with the call. 7:29 left in the second quarter. It's 29-26. The team in blue, Pointstreak, out in front. These teams playing for the 5th place game of Session A of the Global Basketball Summer League.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few really good basketball games here in Session A, and it's amazing we've got an entire additional session left to go.
Clayton finding a cutting Kilo. Kilo the flush. So Lenho Kilo getting on the board. And now Matthews tries to drive. He gets hit. Foul on Doug Anderson.
Now, Lenjo Kilo is one of those players who thrives in a secondary or third player role. He's not going to take a load of shots every game, but as you see, he's in the right place at the right time. He's an incredibly efficient player, and as you see, he helps give Pointstreak an additional couple points. It's been a one-sided affair in the second quarter after the early start by the Desert Storm.
So the referee halts play for a sec to reset the shot clock to 17. Now it's Smith working his way inside. One-handed swat from Kilo. Pointstreak up and running. Passing the lob and the slam! Oh, baby, Doug Anderson. Throw it down. Few highlight reel dunks from him already. Look at how he levitates. Pump fake on the outside from Foley. Kicks back out to Sutton. Sutton, step back three, no good. So Pointstreak will push the other way. Bethel's got room. Bethel kicks outside. Ball swings around the perimeter. And Clayton will slow it for a second as he looks to work in isolation. Kicks out for the side three, no good, as Bethel misfires. So Jamal Smith, a few crafty dribbles. Stops his dribble now, inside to Matthews. Matthews almost gets it stripped. So now it's Smith, pull up. Yes, sir, on the triple, Jamal Smith. He's got 13. So 6 minutes left in this first half, 33-29, with Nevada Desert Storm now trailing by 4 after Smith drains the three. So Anderson shakes off a defender, gets fouled on his way to the hoop. And if he had a little more room and didn't get fouled, you'd like to think he would have threw it down again.
Yeah, this team just loves to attack the rim, and that's why they have the 4-point lead.
And with Doug Anderson, he's someone that's just so physical, 6'5", 225, very strong build, and obviously the athleticism you can see when he gets up like he's done during this game. But with a guy like that, if he's able to do a little more than, just utilize that athleticism, be able to put the ball on the floor, become more of a tactical player. We saw he hit a three earlier in the game too. That's what he's trying to prove to these scouts. You can know that guy can jump simply by watching a highlight video. You don't need to come here to see that. What they want to see, and what his agent wants to see out of him, they want to see him do more than that. They want to see him be more of a complete basketball player. And I think we've seen that in this tournament from Doug Anderson. 16 points in both games. And in this third game, he's already got 9. A few highlight reel jams. He did hit a 3, and he's attacking the hole nicely. You know, he's putting the ball on the floor. He's penetrating, and he's playing smart basketball, and that's what Lewis Lofton, that's what everyone here wants to see out of him.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at players that may transition into the next level, guys like Doug Anderson and really a lot of the players on these rosters would probably be amongst the cream of the crop. I mean, these are two incredibly talented teams. It's crazy to believe that they're not playing for the championship. Crazy bounces have put them in a third place situation. 2-1 is the best record they could hope for, but these teams are ultra talented. I expect quite a few of these guys to move on to the next level.
Well, as Anderson rattles home the first, he has double digits with 10. Not to be kind of a what-if guy, but, you know, if Pointstreak didn't suffer those injuries in Game 1 like we talked about, you never know. They could be undefeated and playing in that title game as we speak. So Anderson has 11 points as he converts on 2 of 2. Bringing the ball up floor is Juan Patillo. Patillo with the right, gets by 2 defenders and knocks it down. He gets on the scoreboard for the first time. So it's Bethel Jr., the smallest guy on the floor, directing traffic. He's matched up with Jamal Smith. He gets by Smith, and he gets fouled on his way to the hole. Actually, no foul they're going to call. It's just going to be out of bounds. So it's going to be Pointstreak with it underneath. The trigger man is Emil Clayton under the hoop. Clayton works around a screen and misfires on a pass. Beautiful outlet from Smith. And finishing in transition is Lamar Fawley. Beautiful pass, threading the needle, Jamal Smith.
Yeah, and it all started with the steal. The heads-up play it's almost where you diagnose the play before it even happens. He knew that there was going to be a pass outside before it even left the hands of the man from Pointstreak, and that's how he's able to create the outlet pass in the transition basket.
So defensive 3 seconds is called on Nevada Desert Storm. Taking the one shot here is going to be Devin Martin. Martin, the one player on this floor wearing the long sleeves today. And that pops out. So now it's going to be Pointstreak with a side out. Again, Pointstreak up by 2, 35-33, halfway through the second quarter. Lewis Lofton preaching patiency here. And we'll see as Clayton works around the screen from Martin. Clayton inside, and that ball pops out, and they're going to call a foul, though. So Clayton's all right there. Foul on Lamar Fawley. Some might argue a ticky-tack call there. 5 team fouls already on Nevada Desert Storm, only 1 for Pointstreak.
Hey, time, 30 seconds, time.
And Lewis Lofton wants a 30-second timeout. Talk it over with his troops. So again, we're halfway through this second quarter, and Nick, I know we talked about Doug Anderson, but Jamal Smith for Nevada Desert Storm, he was an MVP last year for a reason. What is it about his game? Because you just see this guy, he can do so many different things at 5'10", 180, and I think he might even be, he doesn't seem as small as 5'10", that's partially due to his frame. You know, he's a little stocky, I'd say, but he's very physical. He's able to work his way inside, a smart basketball player. What does he do so well on the floor?
Well, I'd say he's a field general. I'd say his decision-making is elite, and that's hard to come by. We've seen quite a few of these games where players will be stuck with 3, 4, 5 turnovers just because they're making bad plays and bad decisions, costing their team. But the difference between them and Jamal Smith, he's a wily veteran. He's been here, he's done that, and he understands how to lead an offense, and that's what's made him so dynamic for this team.
So Anderson to trigger in. He'll bounce to Clayton. 10 seconds left on the shot clock here. Clayton works inside, kicks back out. Driving is Bethel. Stops his dribble. Flips it over the left shoulder, no good. Ball bouncing around. Smith, quick outlet. And there's Fawley peeling back out. He tries a cross-court pass, not smart. Anderson, quick pass up floor to Clayton. Clayton inside, no good. Ball spun around the rim and out. So up the other way, the shot and the bump for Lacey Haddock. Haddock is someone that had a very impressive game 1, 19 points for him there. Yet to get on the scoreboard today. That could change, obviously, as he goes to the line to shoot 2.
And what created that fast break was the rebound by Jamal Smith. I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk about him quite a bit throughout this contest. He's just one of those players. It kind of reminds me of some of the greats like a James Harden, like a Russell Westbrook, with all that they do in every aspect of the game, where they just always seem to be at the right place at the right time. That's what Jamal Smith is.
So Haddock plays in Israel for, let me see if I can pronounce this right, Elite Tsar Ramallah, and he buries both foul shots. That was decent pronunciation. Some of these international teams are harder. The Israeli ones aren't too hard to pronounce, but some of them can be a real pain if you're trying to pronounce them properly. So it's Clayton on the outside. Now he gives to Anderson straight away. Ball on the perimeter with Sankey. Sankey a few steps in, now tries the crossover move. Gives back out for Martin. Martin, the righty drive, using his body to protect the ball. Does not finish, but he does on the second effort. So Devin Martin with 8 points on the day. 37-35, point streak back out in front. Under 4 minutes left now. Doug Anderson contesting the shot. Getting his own rebound is Foley. Ball working around. Blatant point-blank miss by Patillo. So Clayton will run point here. 3 ball is good. Devin Martin from the left wing.
I mentioned earlier the man wearing number 5 for the Blue, Devin Martin. Give him enough shot attempts, and he'll be able to knock a few down and get hot.
So Jamal Smith, pocket pass, and the layup goes home for Juan Patillo. He's now got 4.
I would be shocked if Jamal Smith is anywhere near the top of really any statistical category.
Oh, the lob and the slam. There's another one. Eric Bethel to you-know-who, Doug Anderson. He's got 13 points now. And Lewis Lofton giving him a high five after that. You know he liked what he saw there. That was a big-time slam. So it's 42-37, point streak now up by 5. So shot clock needs to be fixed now. Now they have it going. So it's Jamal Smith working on Clayton, able to shake and bake, and Clayton is resorting to a foul outside. So 3:06 left in this first half. 42-37, team in blue, point streak out in front. Raymond Jarrett is back in the game. Devin Martin getting a breather, getting some high fives, and he played well, 11 points early on in this game. So now it's Smith again orchestrating the offense, using a screen from Matthews. Matthews doesn't know what to do with the screen now. So now Smith tries to bounce inside. That's Haddock, should I say, with the ball. My mistake. Haddock, fadeaway 3, book it. Lacey Haddock's got 5. So he creates some space and drains the long-range shot. So it's Clayton opposite way. Clayton gives to Sankey. Sankey to Jarrett. Jarrett, pull up, pop. Long on the shot. So Haddock will bring the ball up this time. Haddock's picked up at the three-point line. Matthews has room inside. Tries the Euro step. Anderson drawing the charge. That's what you talk about being a complete player. Doug Anderson, presence of mind to hold his ground, and he absorbs the contact, and they're going the other way. Mandatory timeout now called. Again, media timeouts are called if after 6 minutes nobody calls a timeout on either team. So it's 42-40. Lewis Lofton's point streak team out in front, and Coach Todd has showed up for Nevada Desert Storm. Again, a local guy, not known much about in these circles, but very nice guy, brings his kids out to the game. It's a fun time, and the guys on his team know him quite well, and that's really all that matters. So it's 2:23 left on this clock as we get set for halftime pretty soon. Again, it's the teams competing for that 5th place spot in the end of Session A. After this, we will be halfway through the 2016 Global Basketball Summer League, which is hard to believe, Nick, because we literally just got here, and we're almost halfway done.
Yeah, hopefully in Session B with someone like a Doug Anderson, there's a Sports Center crew that comes into the building, because they will have plenty of highlights to take from this game, take from a lot of these players. It's been some of the best in all of the world that have competed here today.
And Daryl Reshaw was telling me the other day, of course, Daryl, the man in charge of global basketball, as Doug Anderson misfires there, he was saying that Session B is even going to be better. And he's very excited for that. A few notable coaches, probably the most notable, former NBA player Daryl Armstrong will be on hand. as Lacey Haddock taking it to the hole, and one opportunity for him. But Daryl Armstrong will coach. You have a coach from Finland, Mikko Larkis. He's already here. It's going to be an interesting time, and more new talent is already arrived in Vegas, getting set to lace up tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe Daryl Armstrong will lace them up if there's any injuries, because he was quite the player for the Dallas Mavericks for over a decade.
And Haddock switches home. Armstrong, he actually coaches with the Mavs now under Rick Carlisle, but what's good about Armstrong, what's going to be good at this tournament, is that he has a lot of experience playing overseas, as Bethel scoops it home, taking it to the rack. But Armstrong played overseas before he got a shot in the NBA, then catching on with the Bulls, the Magic, a number of teams. Inside pass from Haddock, and not finishing on the interior is Perry. Board tracked down by Sankey. So pushing up floor is Jarrett. Jarrett, wild pass, is able to be controlled baseline by Oliver. Oliver feed to Jarrett. Jarrett spinning around. Hook shot, no good. Follow again, Doug Anderson. He's got 15.
He's been a man-possessed, single-handedly helping them get the lead.
And he gives a smile to the bench. He's trying to work his way onto an all-tournament team. He's playing the right way right now. He's hyped up, and rightfully so. Timeout on the floor for Nevada Desert Storm.
Boy, what a performance for Doug Anderson. But to piggyback off your point with Daryl Armstrong as the coach, I would believe that no matter what players he has on his roster, he's got about as good a shot as any to win the GBSL Session B championship, because he's got probably the best sales pitch of any of the coaches. He started overseas, and then he became an NBA player and then an NBA coach. That's very unprecedented. And I would go through a wall for a coach who did something like that.
He'll certainly command the attention of the men on Prestige's sports team. And we'll get that all set. Of course, we're going to have your coverage all throughout Session B until the end of the GBSL, which, is only a few days away. Crazy to think about again. So a minute 25 left in this first half, 46-43 in favor of Pointstreak. So Devin Matthews working outside, the Central Washington product, with the left spinning inside with the white, fading away and getting it to go over Raymond Jarrett. Matthews now has 4. His team now down by 1. 1 minute left. Bethel with the head of steam driving in. Errant attempt on the layup, but showing the quickness there. Sutton, the lob, and the slam is missed by Patillo, but Patillo will clean it up as he had an uncontested layup.
And he's smiling because that time he just went with the layup, knowing that missing 2 dunks in a row would be terrible for his team.
Leave the dunking to Mr. Anderson, am I right?
Right, yeah.
So Anderson, 3 from the wing, he can do that too. Doug Anderson is cooking, 18 points for him. The man can do more than dunk. Cross-court pass now to the right corner. Working is Perry in motion. Yes, sir. Harvey Perry buries the shot. He gets on the board for the first time. 3 for him, and he actually puts his team up by 1 now. So Harvey Perry, a big 3, but actually Lewis Lofton said it's a 2, and they call it right, so it's 49-49. Raymond Jarrett short on the 3. Cleaning up the mess, but missing it is Lorenzo Oliver. Couldn't finish on the second effort. Patillo working up the floor. The big try to dribble it up. Finally gives back out for Matthews. So shot clock unplugged, 10 seconds left in this first half. It's going to be Sutton on the outside. Sutton gives. 3 ball from Smith. He actually fakes it. He faked me out. 3 from the corner. No good as time expires. Harvey Perry cannot connect. And that's how this first half will end, deadlocked at 49.
That did not end with points, but that was a tremendous job of using every second of the clock and get a shot at the buzzer. That's something that you preach as a coaching staff, and they worked it to perfection.
So Nick and I are going to take a quick breather, but we'll come back on the other side. Second half of an entertaining final game of Session A between Pointstreak and Nevada Desert Storm. Again, your score, 49 apiece. We'll be right back.
Nice.
Global Basketball is a leading media property that delivers precise information and news on its players all across the world.
The Global Basketball Summer League in Las Vegas allows players to showcase their skills in front of coaches, agents, and executives. But the tournament is also a training platform for the NBA officiating department. The GBSL allows referees to develop their skills in a professional environment with NBA rules.
So I've been a FIBA referee since 2011. A referee in the Australian National League. I've been doing that for 10 years.
As we develop ourselves as referees, it gives us an opportunity, especially some of the younger guys, to get into the system, understand the rules, understand the speed of the game.
The Executive Director of Global Basketball, Daryl Reshaw. Daryl, another Global Basketball Summer League just about wrapping up in the books. What do you hope the goal is for all these players that come in here and take advantage of this Summer League?
Get jobs. You know, you have about 130 players in 2 sessions. Had a lot of small college All-Americans. You had players who had pro experience. You had players played at the D1 level. And last year we had about 130 players. 40 kids got jobs directly by being associated with the Global Basketball Summer League.
The Global Basketball Experience really provides us a great opportunity to evaluate our referees in good competition, and the competition continues to get better and better every year.
So it's also a platform for us to get jobs as well, Sean. That's right, from play-by-play, color analyst duties, reporting, even helping with the entire event on an administration level. What do you think about the Global Basketball Summer League, and how do you feel? I know you were here last year. How do you feel about this program offering this chance for these players?
I think it's awesome. We probably had 6 guys at our training camp that came through Global Basketball last summer. 2 of them started and played real well for us. Richard Amarty had a nice season, and Tom Granado had a fabulous season for us and was really good.
Much better defense, on the second half, good attitude. Then we have much more space on offense. We move the ball pretty good.
And we're back as halftime is just wrapped up here at the Doolittle Community Center in Las Vegas. The final game of Session A of the GBSL. It's Pointstreak and Nevada Desert Storm both tied up at 49. And the one thing that stood out about this first half, a lot of guys have put up some points, but none have been more exciting than Mr. Doug Anderson for Pointstreak, wearing number 6. 18 points in that first half, a number of highlight reel jams, a few threes, and he's done it all out here, Nick.
Yeah, he really has. He's the storyline of this contest, win or loss. I would like to emphasize, though, that Pointstreak has really relied a lot on the scoring of one player, and he has really been a big impact. However, it seems like Nevada Desert Storm's artillery is a lot deeper, and that may prove to be the difference in the second half.
Well, Nevada Desert Storm, again, as we start playoff with Jamal Smith running traffic, they've played together a lot more. These are all local products that have experience together. And they're going to call a touch foul right off the bat. So 6 seconds into this one, we're getting a foul call. Didn't see who that was on. Nonetheless, results in a side out for the Desert Storm, with the trigger man here being Foley. For the Desert Storm, Jamal Smith led all scorers for them with 13. Again, he was a tournament MVP last year. Recently played for the team San Jose in Brazil. So Foley tries to cross up Anderson. Anderson's sticking nicely with him. Perry has it on the outside. 2 seconds left in the shot clock. Long three from Foley. Book it! Foley hitting the long triple right there. He's got 8 points. So press being applied as Smith is all in the face of Clayton, who will finally get it over the timeline. Smith around the pick from Kilo. Clayton, should I say. Nonetheless, Anderson has it. Long two. Misfires. Running up the other way is Sutton. Sutton kicks out for Smith. Smith from the wing. Book it. Just inside the arc. So 15 points for Jamal Smith. And the Desert Storm are now up by 5, 54-49. Clayton working his way inside. Beautiful feed. And yes, sir, it is Eric Bethel laying it up and in.
Doug Anderson is proving he really can do it all.
Beautiful feed from Anderson to set that one up. Sutton takes a few dribbles outside. Fadeaway shot is good on the lefty rainbow delivery. So Clayton's going to set things up. Uses a few screens. Now finally he's going to drive on the right side. Decides to give it back out. Kilo, stop and pop. Friendly roll goes down for him. Lenjo Kilo, first points of the second half. So it's 56-53 in favor of the Desert Storm. 2 minutes into the second half. Perry has it inside. Tries the step back, and he's fouled on the way up.
Yeah, that's a very controversial call against Doug Anderson. But I'd like to mention that Nevada Desert Storm has been here before. Just yesterday in their narrow win over Windsor Express, they overcame a 38-point performance over Antonio Thomas Mans. Today, it looks like Doug Anderson will be right around that same statistic in the points-wise. However, Nevada Desert Storm is still looking to snag the lead here.
So misses the first, but hits the second, does Perry. So he's now got 3 points to his name. Bringing it up court is Raymond Jarrett III. Scored the first 6 points of this game for Pointstreak. Currently has 9 points. Gets it tapped away, but Jarrett still has possession. Again, Jarrett played professional ball in Dubai recently. 26-year-old wing player. Taking it inside is Bethel, and they're going to call offensive interference. Lenjo Kilo is trying to sell that one, but that was definitely offensive interference. Lewis Lofton disagrees, but refs saw that one, and they think it's offensive interference, as he put that ball up when he was still on the rim.
Yeah, there's no argument there. That is offensive interference. Still a beautiful move by Bethel, and what looked like was going to be a good finish.
So some interior passing work there, but looks like Wallace fouled offensively. So Jason Wallace hasn't scored yet. 6'9", 250. Currently looking to play somewhere professionally as a free agent, and he hasn't been all that impressive today. He's had a bunch of chances inside. Again, this Nevada Desert Storm team is a significant size advantage, but they haven't been able to utilize that as much as you'd like to think, with Wallace really towering over these guys.
And it seems like he's a bit disengaged. You know, when you don't have a good impact early, that may start to ruin your confidence.
Bethel misfires on a triple. Inside on the offensive glass is Clayton, and he'll go to the line for 2. So Emil Clayton is able to pick up the loose ball there, and Bethel couldn't hit the 3. So it's 57-53 with Nevada Desert Storm out in front early in the second half. 7:13 the clock reads, and that's how much is remaining in the third. Clayton hits the first. It's his first points of the day. He played for the PBL Buffaloes in the Philippines. A mix of players here. Again, we talked about Jarrett playing in Dubai. Clayton in the Philippines. You have guys all over the map who have already played international ball and want to see what offers they can pick up during this camp here in Vegas. And they're going to call a reach on number 8. And I'll see who that is, actually. Not sure if he said number 8, but there's a reach on somebody. on this Pointstreak team.
Maybe Lenjo Kilo, number 9.
Could be. Nonetheless, it is a turnover now as Bethel picks it up. Bethel going the other way. He throws up a lob to nobody in particular, but Raymond Jarrett will be there to finish. So Jarrett's now cracked double digits with 11 points. So Euro step attempt, no good on the lofting floater from Sutton. Beautiful outlet from Jarrett. Bethel's got it. Bethel will finish, and he takes it to the hole for the college layup. Interior passing to perfection there, and Smith tries to twirl his way around. It's just a sloppy play from him. Now Clayton will work up floor. Jarrett takes it in, hop step, no good on the hesitation move, and picked up by Harvey Perry.
There are a couple really bad turnovers on these offenses.
3 ball? Yes, sir. Lamar Foley is the man who hits it from downtown. He's got 11, so back in front goes the Desert Storm, 60-59. And the ball gets stuck on the rim, and that's what you call a wedgie there, but it got quickly taken down. And subs are coming in. We got 3 subs over here from Pointstreak. We got Sankey, Martin, and Oliver all coming back on the floor. And now, interesting thing here with the subs, it looks like Raymond Jarrett wanted to go back in the game, but now they're having him back on the bench. Not sure what's going on. They're doing a jump ball after that last shot got stuck in the rim. So it's jumped, and the tip is won by Kilo, biggest man on the floor for Pointstreak at 6'8". So Clayton orchestrating the offense here. 6 minutes left in this third. Shake and bake from Kilo. And he stops and pops, no good. Rebound for Martin. Martin puts it up, no good on his part. And it goes off of blue, so White's ball. So Desert Storm have it now. Timeout for Coach Todd on the far sideline. And with that, 5:48 remaining in this third quarter. Again, a back-and-forth game. We've seen it all throughout here, Nick. But I don't know what to think about what's gone on in this third quarter. Really back and forth, but we've seen some sloppy play right here. You'd like to think these guys will start to, wake up in a sense and really finish strong here, because it's only a 5th place game, but these guys have their individual aspirations on the line. You want to make that all-tournament team. A guy like Doug Anderson certainly seems like he's on his way to it. 16 in each of the first 2 games. He's got 18 after 1 half. Hasn't scored in this third quarter yet, though.
Yeah, I think we've all been entertained. Both teams equally bad in terms of the turnovers, which has led to both teams having equal opportunities to get back in this game. 1-point ball game between Pointstreak and Nevada Desert Storm. This was exactly what we were expecting, but not the sort of ineptitude in the third quarter.
So both teams will retake the floor. Again, the Nevada Desert Storm dressed in white. The Pointstreak team wearing the blue pennies. So Sutton bounces it over to Haddock. Now back to Sutton, and he'll bring it over to the tie line to start things up. So Sutton using the screen, kicks back out cross court. Haddock gets it now to Matthews. Matthews spinning around, trying to back his way inside, guarded tightly by Sankey. Matthews still with it, hesitates, gets smacked away. So Clayton has it. Clayton passes up court to Kilo. Kilo inside, offensive foul. Lenjo Kilo from Savannah State charged right there.
Sankey with an incredible individual effort to get the steal. Boy, this man did not die on the play after back-to-back beautiful moves on the offensive end for Nevada Desert Storm. Boy, Sankey, I would say individually, that might be the play of the day. Forget all the dunks by Doug Anderson. To grab a steal like that, that's sensational.
Absolutely, and again, that's an effort play. It comes down to that motor, that internal motor, and we've seen that with a bunch of guys in this tournament. That's something that stands out, and it's not something you can teach. That's an effort level thing. It also comes down to athletic ability as well. A guy like Denzel Menza on Windsor Express really sticks out to me in that regard. So back in the game now is DeMario Butler for the first time in the third quarter, as they're now halfway through this third with the Desert Storm up by 1, 60-59. Now make that a 3-point lead as Devin Matthews spins around the hole and puts it in at the rim.
That's just a textbook drive by Martin, and he finishes with the right hand. Beautiful move.
So Clayton in the front court. Gives to Martin. Martin's going to pop a three. And yes, sir, Devin Martin draining it from long range.
Yeah, that was in rhythm. That's a man who seems like he's done that time and time again, which he has. Boy, not afraid to take that shot with looking for no more than a half a second.
Martin, pull up, pop. He got it. Matthews, should I say, my mistake. Getting my M's mixed up, but Devin Matthews now with 6 points after he drains the jumper. No good from Clayton as he bricks it. Going up floor is Sutton. Sutton back opposite side to Haddock. Haddock's going to kick to the far corner. Sutton near the baseline. Bounces and finishing at the rim, Juan Patillo. And he'll go to the line for a three-point opportunity.
That was good defense, but just better offense. That's a very good decision off of dribble penetration when being swarmed near the baseline to feed to the big man, and he finishes. What a performance so far by this Nevada Desert Storm.
So Juan Patillo now with 8 points and a chance to make it 9 here. 4:12 left in this third quarter. 66-62. Desert Storm out in front. Again, both of these teams 1-1, fighting for a chance to be crowned 5th place in Session A. And the foul shot is no good. So Martin's going to go up the floor. Beautiful lob inside, running the floor. Lenjo Kilo will throw it down to finish that off. Nobody near him. Easy flush for him. He's got 6.
A BX Store to BX Store connection from Savannah State to Maryland Eastern Shore.
Off target there was Sutton. Now pushing the other way, Lorenzo Oliver recently checked back in. Oliver tries to twirl around and get it to Kilo, but Pointstreak will maintain possession. So Kilo, bumping and bruising inside, misses on the baby hook. Dribbling in circles is Juan Patillo. That was fun to watch. A little entertainment there. Time to give it up. He goes cross court. Now it's Matthews inside, dishes back. Patillo will pull up from the foul line and go off the side of the rim. So Clayton running point here. Clayton bulldozing his way in, no good. Rebound for Patillo. Bounces to Haddock, will slow things down. Haddock, one-handed lob over the court, no good, and Sutton misses from the open three.
And now it's time for these offenses to slow it down a little bit. A very frenetic pace, and it seems to be a bit out of control.
Devin Martin inside, no good for him. As a little bit of a wild attempt for him, lost control of his body, tried to flip it up, but could not do so. It looks like he hit his head a little bit as he went to the floor, but he seems to be all right.
They're going to need
66-64 to Desert Storm, up by 2 here, with 2:47 left in this third.
Yeah, they definitely are going to need Devin Martin in the fourth quarter. His ability to stretch the floor. We expected Doug Anderson to not continue that freakish pace that he was going on with all the dunks. If Nevada Desert Storm even puts a hand on him near the rim, he's not able to get half of those dunks. Nothing against him, just Anderson was uncontested some of the time.
Yeah, and Anderson really, again, he has not scored this quarter after a beautiful first half. So impressive, 18 points, a few real highlight reel dunks for him. And this crowd was really loving that. A few lobs. And, you know, he's talked about how he was going to get up there and throw it down. Again, Doug Anderson, 6'5", 225. Can play multiple positions. The way he's playing, we've seen some positives from him, but he has slowed down this third quarter. Scouts want a guy with consistency, so we'll see if he'll turn it around quickly here.
Yeah, I have no issues, though, with Doug Anderson. He's well on his way to the all-tournament team. I'd put him there right now.
A lot of impressive talent in this tournament. You imagine Sterling Smith coming off an MVP caliber championship game today. 25 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists. So Anderson will spot up right here in rhythm, no good. Rebound fought for, and stepping out of bounds was DeMario Butler. So he battled with Oliver for that rebound, and it's going to keep it with Pointstreak here underneath. So the trigger man is Clayton trying to find someone from under the basket. We give to Anderson. Anderson backing in, fading away, and offensive foul on him. Anderson disagrees with the call, but it is what it is as he'll trot back defensively. This is definitely the biggest crowd we've seen all day, as the stands are really starting to get full at the Doolittle Community Center. A mix of fans, family of these players, and of course scouts and agents, and an easy lay-in for Juan Patillo. He's now cracked double digits with 10. 2:20 left in this third quarter. Off-balance attempt from Oliver, and it goes off a point streak past the end line.
The big man, Lenjo Kilo, couldn't control it. Otherwise, he would have had an easy lay-in to help give them some points.
So on the opposite side, Matthews using his body, absorbing the contact. He finishes and the foul, so he'll have a chance at a three-point play. Anderson, the man that committed the foul there, as Matthews was really able to halt himself in midair and throw that one off the window. So it's now 70-64 in favor of the Desert Storm. Every time Pointstreak comes back in this one, Desert Storm is able to maintain their lead. And Matthews with one more on the foul line, he's got 7 points. So 2 minutes remaining, 71-64. Team in white out in front. Clayton around the Anderson screen. Gives to Oliver, who pulls up a three. He drains it from the right wing. Lorenzo Oliver has 5. So it's now 71-67, of course, with Desert Storm out in front. Haddock feeds inside. Patillo has room. He finishes and gets touched. In that situation, you might just want to let him go. So he's got one more at the charity stripe.
Yeah, just about to say, that was one of those fouls. As soon as he committed it, he would have loved to have it back. He knows right away that was a mistake.
So Patillo's now got one more attempt. Biggest guy on the floor. Not actually, no. Jason Wall is actually at 6'9", 250, but just from looking at Patillo from the eye test, he seems like the biggest guy out on the floor, even though he's only listed at 6'7", 240.
And he's been knocking down his free throws.
Yes, he has. Nice to see some touch from the big man. He's got 13 points. Minute 40 left in this third quarter. Clayton's still directing traffic. He's guarded tightly by Butler. Bounces inside for Kilo. Kilo, a few jab steps, pulls up a 10-footer, rattles in. So Lenjo Kilo, another MEAC product out of Savannah State with 8 points. A few crossovers from Haddock. He gives to Patillo. Patillo trying to step back for a sec, thinks about it, but he gives to Butler instead. Butler driving with the left, twirling inside, no good. Anderson has it, and he gets fouled in the open floor by Lacey Haddock. So 1:08 left on this third quarter clock, 74-69, and Nevada Desert Storm still up.
Well, Doug Anderson was about ready to send all of these fans to their feet with the breakaway basket, but he was fouled right before he crossed half court. Smart foul.
Lewis Lofton disagreeing with the ref here, saying the ref's going to see it when he looks back on the film on a potential double dribble. But it is what it is now. Pointstreak has the ball. Clayton no good off glass. Rebound goes to Haddock. He's going to hustle out with it. Haddock up floor. Now back to Patillo. And that one goes out of bounds. Sutton should have went right up with it with the left, but instead tries to make the extra pass that wasn't necessary. Not sure who the ball went off of here, but it's good to say it went off a Pointstreak. So with 19 seconds left in the shot clock, Desert Storm have it. Haddock cocks back, shoots up a three, no good.
Well, these are two of easily the most vocal teams in this entire tournament.
Martin three on the other end, and swoosh from the wing.
He's got 4 threes already.
17 points for Devin Martin. He's certainly cooking in this game. And now Pointstreak only down by 2, 74-72. Under 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Pass over to Matthews. Matthews a few dribbles behind the back. Now ball swinging cross court to cross court. 3 ball is short. Jarrett tracking down the rebound. 15 seconds left. Shot clock is turned off here. Martin pulling up again. Can he hit another? That one is short. He gets his own rebound, but then gets taken away. Open floor lob, and the slam from Patillo. He throws it down hard. And 5 seconds left. Jarrett's going to have to chuck this one in. Martin has it at half court. Took it a few seconds too soon. No good. And here's the full court attempt over the backboard from Lacey Haddock. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Wild sequence of events. But it ends with the Desert Storm still up by 4. As we're 3/4 of the way done with this one.
Yeah, you made a good call. Devin Martin probably would have had a great attempt at a 3 had he known that there was 5 seconds left to attempt the shot instead of 1 or 2.
Yeah, he chucked it up from just past the tie line, and you know, in a situation like that, he could have taken 2-3 dribbles in and still pull up near the three-point arc, and that might have been, you know, a better solution. Granted, there are a lot of defenders around, but it is what it is. Pointstreak down by 4, 76-72. Nevada Desert Storm, a team that's up by 4. Teams fighting for 5th place. And again, Doug Anderson held scoreless in that third quarter. You know, he's inching to get back out there and really change the narrative here, because the narrative is, right now at least, tremendous first half, all tournament-like performance, and, you know, a disappearing act 1 quarter into the second half.
This was exactly what we were hoping for. A great way to conclude Session A of the GBSL tournament, a tight-knit contest, and both offenses have been lethal. Defenses haven't been too bad. There have been some great individual efforts, but the offenses have easily overshadowed any of those efforts so far today.
For the Desert Storm, it's Jamal Smith leading the way with 15 points, even though he only had 2 in that third quarter. On the other end for Pointstreak, it's still Mr. Doug Anderson with 18 points to lead the way. Devin Martin only 1 point behind with 17. As you mentioned, 4 3-pointers for him, as he's been able to hit often from the perimeter. So now Kilo inbounds for Clayton. Full court press here from Lacey Haddock. Haddock, a very speedy guard. You see that as he pressured Emil Clayton all the way past the half-court line. Clayton bounces as it's Jarrett inside. Jarrett moving his body, and he gets fouled, and I think they're going to call that one on the floor. No, they're giving him 2 foul shots, and that's the right call. For a second, I thought they would call that on the floor, but Raymond Jarrett with 11 points on the day, and he has a chance for more. Make it 12 for him as he drains the first.
We're talking about these officials during the timeout between Game 3 and Game 4. I made sure they knew that they were doing a great job, and their response was, "You're the only person all tournament who's told me I've done a great job, and you may be the second person of this entire tournament to tell them that they made the right call."
As an official, I'm sure you'll like to hear you're making the right calls out there and people approve of your work, because you're really putting to the line of fire there when you're an official, and you have people on both sides barking out that they want something different, as Lacey Haddock pulling up from downtown and connecting.
Oh, you can make 99% of your calls correctly, but you're still not a good official if you make the 1% wrong. That's the mentality.
A lob inside, Jarrett, and he's going to finish around the rocking rim.
Smart hesitation, waiting for the defender to hop over him.
So other side, it's Fawley from the three-point arc. D'd up by Jarrett. Now he gets around him with the left, and he's stopped in his tracks by Anderson. Dishes back out for Jamal Smith. Leaner, and he hits. Jamal Smith with 17.
Another man who would be on my all-tournament team is Jamal Smith. Just the smart plays that he makes helps them win basketball games.
Raymond Jarrett, a few jab steps, and RJ cannot hit there. Ball out of bounds off of Kilo.
And it's more than just scoring. I don't think he's committed a single turnover today. His assists, his rebounds, Jamal Smith, a couple steals today. All around tremendous performance, and that's really nothing new for him.
Haddock inside, pocket pass to a cutting Jason Wallace, who gets on the board for the first time. 83-76, Nevada Desert Storm up 2 minutes into this fourth quarter. So Pointstreak has really been stagnant for a while. They've been close, and every time they cut it close, Desert Storm bounced back. But there's Clayton on a hard drive. He took it right at the rim, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, Wallace is kicking himself. He doesn't take very much to bulldoze a guy like that. Wallace, over 250 pounds. He put a nice little shoulder into him, and he was no match. He fell to the floor.
Yeah, he's a big load down there. He gave him a little lick, but Clayton is able to hit the first foul shot. He's now got 3 points on the day.
You can tell Wallace a bit more confident after knocking down a shot like that. You can see he's a bit more engaged on both ends of the floor, and expect him to make a better fourth quarter rally here playing the post.
And make it 4 now for Emil Clayton. So 2 minutes underway in this fourth quarter, 83-78, Nevada Desert Storm, and a turnover there as Jason Wallace took too many steps. Seen a lot of struggles from the big man here because, I don't know, you mentioned attention to detail earlier, how much he's committed, but he just seems lost out there at times, and he finished moments ago, but that aside, he's really struggled the entirety of the game. Clayton nifty cross up, oh, the rejection! Harvey Perry saving the deuce.
Wallace seems very talented, just a little raw, I would say. That's the description I give to him. Just yet to really establish his full potential.
Martin tries to inbound, easy one for Jarrett. Jarrett takes the contact. He's got a chance for one more. So Raymond Jarrett III, he's really upped the scoring today. He's now got 17 points and a chance to make it 18. Well, you talked about wanting a balanced scoring effort from Pointstreak earlier, Nick, and in that first half it seemed like it was all Doug Anderson, but now Martin really caught fire in the third from beyond the arc, and also you have Jarrett at the line with 17, Martin with 17 as well. So now there is a decent amount of balance on that Pointstreak offensive attack.
Yes, that's something that I'm sure Lewis Lofton of Pointstreak is thrilled about, and that's exactly what he was hoping for coming in.
Haddock avoiding the turnover there, trying to cross up Anderson. Works around the screen, lobs inside, no good on the finish was Perry. Perry's able to follow it up again though. Did not hit the rim, so no fresh 24. Long two is off, and Martin picking it up. Martin going to take it himself. He's trying to go coast to coast. Off the window, it's good. Coast to coast, Devin Martin now with 19 points. And we're tied up 83-83 after that bucket. So Pointstreak going on a little bit of a run here. Let's see if they can retake this lead for the first time this half. That's Jamal Smith outside, shaking by a few defenders. Now has room to loft it up and gets the friendly roll. Jamal Smith with 19 points on the day.
Now Jamal Smith, he may not be the biggest man on the floor, but he's probably made the biggest impact from quarter to quarter today.
Jarrett driving inside, throws it up, and gets it to go. Raymond Jarrett now, he's got 20 points on the day. First to crack 20 for Pointstreak.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm trying to build a team around somebody at point, I'd put Smith as my guy also because I don't think he's ever taken a seat.
Haddock a little short on the jumper, and the rebound goes as Clayton will push up court with it. Clayton inside to Anderson. Anderson gets fouled on the floor, and that was the right idea. Anderson quickly got up the floor, tried to post up, and if he didn't get fouled right there, he would have had a relatively easy bucket. And you want your top scorer to get going in the fourth quarter. Again, Doug Anderson has not had anything going in the second half after a brilliant first half. That's an easy way to get one of your best players some points.
Not too many fouls so far today, and that is a good thing, especially for Nevada Desert Storm because they have so many bigs on the floor.
So Pointstreak's been able to get it going in this fourth quarter. It's tied at 85 apiece. It was tied at 49 going into halftime. Doug Anderson steps back, shoots a two. He's well short on that. Really looked off target from the start. But Kilo tracks it down. Sankey, should I say. Anderson almost commits a foul. Clayton inside, now outside. Three ball, rims out. Anderson fought for the rebound and gets pushed to the floor hard. And they're going to call a foul on Anderson. He is not pleased as he hit the floor hard.
Insult added to injury, but that is the right call. But even if Anderson committed the foul, that's a foul that I love to have as a coach. To see a guy sacrifice his body for a rebound like that, that's something that you don't see with a lot of guys. And you mentioned it yourself. That's just something you don't teach either.
And it looks like Anderson simply just did not agree with the call. And, from this vantage point, you don't know what to think exactly. You're not there underneath the basket, in the gauntlet of it all, seeing what's going on. But be that as it may, Anderson did take a little bit of a tumble. Seems to be all right. Clapping it up on the bench, a little bit of a positive attitude there, which you always like to see. So 5:45 left on this game clock, 85-85. High-scoring affair from the Doolittle Community Center. Last game of Session A of the GBSL. Session B coming up tomorrow, and of course we'll have all those games for you archived online.
Sam, are you ready for this?
I don't know if I'm ready for it, Nick, but I'm excited for it. I'll tell you that much. I don't know what we're about to see, but we've seen these teams go back and forth all day. And if there's a way to end Session A, you want a tight-knit game like this, really back and forth, as Pointstreak's been able to close it up.
Right.
So Haddock with the left no-look pass, and Matthews missed everything, gets fouled on the second attempt.
I was going to mention, we haven't seen any buzzer beaters yet. We've still got a long way to go on this one, but this appears to be a game where the offense that has the ball last will probably have a chance to win it.
We'll see what happens if that buzzer beater prediction ends up, happening. But this is a fun one for sure. 5:38 left on the game clock. It's going to be Devin Matthews at the line for 2 shots.
Nevada Desert Storm has been stuck in a lot of these shootout games. They had 101 points in their win over Windsor Express. They had 108 points in their loss over what I believe was Scouting for You on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And now they look like they may just eclipse 100 points for the 3rd straight game.
They lost Nevada Desert Storm. They lost their first game to the Southern Stars, and they won versus Windsor. 3-ball bucket. Lacey Haddock from the perimeter. He's got 19 now, so we've seen Lacey Haddock catch fire. 14, my mistake. My math isn't the best. Clayton inside. He's going to go mano-a-mano. Pulls up a long 2. Short there. Rebound to Matthews.
Yeah, that's a 3 that I would not have taken if I was Clayton. A lot of dribbling to get yourself open, then to back up and take a 3, that's a questionable call.
Errant pass goes to Anderson. Anderson in transition. We'll see what he does here. Euro step in the one-handed finish. Doug Anderson, that'll get him going. He's got 20.
Luckily, the pole that supports the backboard is stronger than the other day when he nearly ripped it off.
Floater goes down for Sutton, who's got 7 points, but Doug Anderson, his first points of the second half, and it's 90-87 in favor of the Desert Storm. So Pointstreak still trying to come back. Nifty moves inside. Bethel gets it to go. He blows by everybody. Haddock, the floor general here. He gives out to Matthews. He'll spot up from downtown. He gets it in. Devin Matthews now with 10 points. So 93-89. Nevada Desert Storm up with 4:20 left in this contest. Lorenzo Oliver, we haven't seen much of him today, but he was running point there for a minute. Spot up long 2, no good. So pushing the opposite way is Sutton. Yeah, nobody there on the glass, and that's never what you want to see. Matthews thinks about a 3. Now Haddock will pull up from well beyond the arc. That's off. Beautiful interior passing. Matthews just botched the easy one. He had a bunny right there if he just held on to that ball. Clayton trying the hang time. Harvey Perry using the long arms instead. And they're resetting the shot clock right here. The one it's at right now is at 13. They're resetting it to 19. So 3:50 left in the game. 93-89. Nevada Desert Storm still out in front. Pointstreak cut it back to tie it up, but they have not retaken this lead just yet. Pull up from 3 is Bethel, and he's long on the 3 attempt. Foul will be called underneath, though. So to inbound will be Emil Clayton. Pointstreak using an array of offensive attack to put them in this position in the comeback. Raymond Jarrett with 20 points. Doug Anderson also at 20. Devin Martin with 19. On the side out, it's going to be Oliver, the trigger man. He bounces to Bethel. Bethel around an Anderson screen. Using his body off the glass, no good, but the foul. So Eric Bethel Jr., again, he got hurt in that very first game with the injury troubles that really plagued Pointstreak. In that game, they lost Joel Clark, their tallest player, as he had to go home with an ankle injury that could not be fixed in the next 2 days.
Yeah, but they were able to, in a resounding effort, come back off of those injuries. And this appears to be a team that is putting together a run that I would say is championship level. They're not going to win a championship, but this is very impressive. Now, can they figure out a way to come back here again today?
So the first one does drop for Bethel. Second one rattles in as well. So 2-point ball game with the Desert Storm up by 2 at 93-91. Here it's Lacey Haddock in the front court, trying to use the Matthews pick. Now he'll go with the right. Now to a cutting Matthews. Matthews loses it for a second. Fade away is good. Devin Matthews, the rainbow delivery. Lorenzo Oliver, high arcing release, but an air ball.
Yeah.
95-91, Desert Storm still in front.
Pointstreak chose a bad time to just hack up a bunch of threes.
Haddock being given the 3, not going to take it. Instead, he'll eat some clock and give to Sutton. 3 minutes left in this game. 4-point ball game. Desert Storm in front. Beautiful interior passing. Jamal Smith had an uncontested layup. Smith now with 21 points on the day. Right around his average of 22 a game he's had over the last 2 here in Session A. Driving his Bethel no-look layup. Gets fouled in the process. So Eric Bethel has a chance to make this back to a 4-point deficit. Now it's at 6, 97-91. Nevada Desert Storm up.
Yeah, this is the one issue I'm sure Lewis Lofton is getting infuriated about. The shot selections for his offense in the fourth quarter has been bad. However, it's more than just that. It's been their inability defensively to stop these plays in the low post. We're looking at plays, Jamal Smith with that layup on the last possession, where guys are uncontested to the basket. You cannot have that in this late game situation.
So a timeout here for Coach Todd of Nevada Desert Storm. Pointstreak talks over as well with Lewis Lofton. Again, Lewis Lofton is in charge of player development for global basketball, and he's actually won the tournament last year as a coach. Not going to get that this year. Right now, at least in Session A, fighting for 5th place. He's talking over with these guys. It's ultimately about getting these guys to the next level. You want these guys to get scouted. You want the scouts to like them. And you want them to either land an overseas contract or, in some cases, an NBA Development League contract. So we've had some guys who've already on these teams have played in the D-League.
Right, this is a situation where these players have been there, done that. Obviously, the pressure is still on them. They are unaccustomed to trying to work their way to a professional level, but they've been working and practicing for this situation throughout most of their lives. I mean, these are some of the best basketball players across the world, and they're putting on a show not only in this game, but throughout the entire tournament.
Free throw 1 and 2 is swooshed by Bethel. 2 and 2 goes in as well. So 4-point ball game. A little pressure being applied in the backcourt by Lorenzo Oliver, but he gets crossed up by Sutton, who works it across the timeline. Sutton going mano-a-mano, shake and bake. He got shaken out of his shoes. The fans love it, but he can't bury the shot. You'd love to see a crossover like that, but it doesn't matter if you can't get the points to, make it work. So Bethel trying to go around the screen, and a hip check by Lacey Haddock. He gets picked up for the foul. That was a nasty crossover, though. That stepdaddy James Harden used in the NBA. A little bit of a representation of that in this GBSL game. 2:21 left, 97-93. Desert Storm out in front. Bethel driving in, has to stop. Can't finish amongst the trees. Rebound goes to Perry. Perry splits the D. Perry up court. Bounce pass. Smith going up. Smith can't finish, but the foul. It all starts with Harvey Perry splitting the defenders. One-handed bounce to Smith, who was running in transition, and he was able to take it to the rack.
It all started, I would say, even before that, with a phenomenal defensive play to prevent the Bethel lay-in.
So first foul shot is short from Smith. Again, he was the 2015 GBSL MVP. This Nevada Desert Storm team, a mix of local Las Vegas basketball talent that, they play together. It challenges everybody here, and it's also nice for the Las Vegas community, to have a horse in the race, so to speak. So Smith connects the second one. He's now got 21 points. 22, should I say, actually, which is his GBSL average, so right on par with that. Bethel playing point, tries the entry pass for Kilo. It gets stolen away. Lob goes to Matthews, and now to Haddock over half court. Haddock the lob, and the finish with one hand, Harvey Perry. He's got 5 points, and the Desert Storm up by 7. Pointstreak's going to need a quick comeback if they want to pull away with this one. Martin on the wing. Martin working his way inside. He gets fouled from behind by Lacey Haddock. Haddock doesn't see it, but he definitely pushed him. So 100 points. You talked about the Desert Storm cracking 100 all these games, Nick, and they've done it now after that Perry layup.
They've got more to go.
They do have more to go. Spot up three is airballed. RJ had it underneath, but Raymond Jarrett got it poked away. Pointstreak ball still under the hoop. So it's 1:33 left on this game clock. Interesting, 9 team fouls for the Desert Storm. Only 2 for Pointstreak. 1 more, and we got double bonus territory. Jab steps, and a 3 is good from the corner. It's Devin Martin connecting there. He's got 22. So it's only a 4-point ball game now, and an errant pass by Sutton results in a turnover for the Desert Storm, and okay, now it's a 4-point game with Pointstreak now possessing the ball. Not a smart pass there, almost a turnover. You don't want to do that in a situation like that, and Bethel gets bailed out there.
I'm sure if I'm Lewis Lofton, I'm preaching to my guys to slow down the pace.
And after that, Bethel is going to check out. Coming back in is Emil Clayton, who's played a majority of point today for Pointstreak.
Using more clock is a better situation than committing or putting yourself in a position for a turnover.
Scoring change here. It's actually a 5-point game, 195, now 197, as a pull-up 2 goes down for Keon Sankey, his first shot of the day. Haven't seen much from Sankey, who played recently with the Pontiac 66ers, but he hits a big one there. So a minute left in this ball game. Smith working around the defenders, and he gets fouled on the floor.
Hey, Deontay, that's my score?
Lewis Lofton checking on the score over here, and scoreboard officials explaining it, how it was at 96, it went back to 95 due to a scoring change. And now it's 197 in favor of the Desert Storm, but Jamal Smith has a chance to add 2 more to that. So now we understand what it was. It was actually a 2-pointer for Devin Martin. So he actually has 21 points, and that is why the score got changed. We got that all sorted out.
We've seen a large number of long 2s in this basketball game, which is an interesting notable because you could imagine what score that it would be if there were more 3s.
So Smith missed the second one, but working hard on the offensive glass is Perry, and now a foul on the floor.
Boy, it looked like the offensive player initiated the contact. That's a very bang-bang call.
So now 2 foul shots coming the way of Lacey Haddock with literally 1 minute exactly on the clock. So a 4-point ball game has a chance to push it to 6. Haddock switching the first.
I think Lewis Lofton has some very good arguments with the fouling. I mean, listen, these coaches have been very animated today. These teams have been very animated today, more than usual. But Lewis Lofton, I think, has some very good points. I'm sure he's frustrated. His team is down by this, and some of the calls have gone against him.
So 6-point game, under a minute remaining. Pointstreak's going to have to hurry. Pulling up is Clayton. He bricks the 2. Rebound to Perry. And you imagine Desert Storm's going to want to eat some clock here. This one winding down. Desert Storm going to clinch 5th place if they hold on.
A basket here by them would just about do it.
Haddock working around the screen. Bounces back for Sutton. Sutton step back 3, no good. So the rebound goes to, and a lob from Emil Clayton to nobody in particular. That was sloppy basketball with 25 seconds left.
That's a very...
Imagine that's the icing on the cake.
That's a very frustrating way to lose the game. To have an errant pass like that when a 2-pointer doesn't even make that big of a difference in the outcome, that's just a bad way to fall short.
Well, it's smart basketball, and that obviously was not a smart play by Emil Clayton. A little shake and bake from Sutton here, and he buries it to close this one out. Leon Sutton from long range, and he's got 10 points. So Martin with this one winding down, scoops it in the hoop. He is 23, but to no avail. Garbage time 3 from Smith, and he'll pad his stats a little more. For those that wouldn't watch him, he had 24 points now on the day, and I'm sure he's happy about that. Final score 109-99. Score got a little out of hand down the stretch, but Pointstreak was in it till the end. Nevada Desert Storm come out victorious. And that's the way this one all wraps up. So Session A is in the books. And that about does it here, Nick. We've seen it all. Again, Pointstreak led by Doug Anderson, Devin Martin, and Raymond Jarrett, but it wasn't enough to seal the deal. Nevada Desert Storm, the local team, finishing 2-1. And Session A, can't believe it happened, but it is in the books. We are halfway through the 2016 Global Basketball Summer League Tournament.
I think we've got even better basketball